'Tis the season for holiday spending. The Federal Reserve is meeting this week to consider yet another interest rate hike to tackle inflation, but you may already be stretching your wallet to buy gifts for your family and friends. So we're going to dig into how you can save some money this year and make sure it doesn't end up in the hands of a scammer. We're starting with what is driving up costs this holiday season.
Christmas tree farmer Gary Thomas is chopping and selling trees he planted 8 years ago at his sprawling operation near the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. That's how long it takes to grow trees tall enough for people's living rooms.
I need to get height. People want, 8 foot.
Thomas says when the trees went in the ground, he had no idea how expensive business would be this Christmas. He says he needs to pay more to keep workers in a competitive labor market, and his supply prices are spiking. Fertilizer costs more, the chemicals cost more. How do you not pass these costs along to the customer?
Well, unfortunately, we've had to. So my prices went up 15% this year on Fraser fir.
Thomas is charging more than $100 each for his finest trees. Decoration costs are rising too. Kathy Brown operates a 12-month-a-year Christmas store in St. Michael's, Maryland, where there are always ornaments and decorations for sale, but where it's never been more complicated to actually set a price. Are shipping costs impacting you?
Very much.
Surcharges and fuel costs make it pricier to bring the merchandise in and then to send it out. And when it comes to holiday dinner, there's sticker shock there as well, with key staples up between 15 and 25%. But despite inflation pressures, the National Retail Federation is still bullish. They're expecting holiday sales could jump 8% from last year, more than $900 billion after 2 holidays disrupted by COVID and supply chain crises. For Karen Hilton, she'll cut back on other holiday expenses, but not on gifts.
Thank you so much.
Especially for her 5-year-old granddaughter, Amelia.
No, I'd rather not get something than not get her something.
These industries have challenges, but they also have jobs. There is a pressing need for seasonal workers, and they have a built-in advantage. It's the holidays. People are not willing to sacrifice all their traditions. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Bethesda, Maryland.
Well, with millions of people planning to fly in just a few weeks, if you haven't already bought tickets, you really could be facing some high prices. Megan Bragg shares a way that you could save money if you still haven't figured out your holiday travel plans just yet.
This is Google Flights taking a look at the Friday before Christmas to the Monday after. From Charlotte to Miami, the average price for a round trip is close to about $500. Then traveling to Cleveland, Ohio, around $600. And Denver, the average price is about $350. You can see the prices are high for these trips. So what's the best time to take that getaway? Our source is Scott Keys, chief flight expert with Scott's Cheap Flights and Major Airlines.
Around January 7th or so, it flips virtually overnight from the most expensive time of the year to travel to the cheapest 2 months of the entire year for travel, and that's January and February.
Keys says flights can drop nearly 80% in January and February compared to December. So let's compare some flights. American, Delta, and Southwest are showing a round trip to Miami December 22nd to December 26th is around $500 to $600. Comparing that to January 19th to the 23rd, it's about $100 to $200 cheaper for the same round trip. And there are even better deals to other locations.
Flights to Denver out of Charlotte over New Year's, currently $586 round trip on a full service airline. That same flight just 3 weeks later in mid-January, $161 round trip.
Key says there are several reasons why January and February are the best months.
You've got so many families, students, teachers who really can't travel during those months because the academic calendar. And you've just got a lot of folks who maybe aren't thinking about travel because they just took a trip over the winter holiday.
So if you want to put that holiday trip on hold, January and February are your best bet.
Well, when you save some money by taking that holiday trip in the new year, you want to make sure you don't lose it by falling for a scam while holiday shopping. Brandon Lewis shares how you can avoid some of those Grinches who are trying to steal your Christmas this time of year.
Scammers are up to their old tricks with some updated tactics for the holidays to separate you from your money and personal information. So we're going to show you how to spot some of the most common scams using these sources. First up, you'll want to use caution when doing your shopping online. Scammers sometimes set up fake sites that look like real businesses to steal your information or convince you to download malicious software. Here's an example of a scam shopping website that we created. It may even imitate a brand you recognize. How can you know it's a scam? First, check the URL and make sure it's spelled correctly. Then, make sure you end up on a secured website, which is indicated by a lock icon to the left of the URL. Next, be suspicious of unusually low prices. Scammers hope you'll ignore any concerns you have about the site to save a few bucks. And finally, be careful if the site requires you to unexpectedly download software or asks for too much personal information, like your social security number. Scammers also know we're doing a lot of online holiday shopping, so watch out for fake shipment notifications. These are usually phishing emails or texts with links that may allow someone to access your personal information or ask you for money to release a shipment that really doesn't exist. Here's one example that was sent to us by a Verify viewer where a scammer claims their package can't be shipped because of a mistake in their zip code. It asks for some personal information and later a redelivery fee. So, how do we know this is a scam? First, the link in the text message does not go to USPS's official website, which is a big red flag. Next, the Postal Inspection Service says if you never signed up for a USPS tracking request for a specific package, then don't click the link. Carriers leave an official notice in your mailbox when they can't deliver a package. The USPS also doesn't charge a fee for redeliveries. If you're not sure if a tracking message is real, try taking the tracking number provided and doing a search for it on the Postal Service's or other carriers' website. Finally, if you're ever unsure about a suspicious message, contact the retailer directly using a trusted method like their official phone number, email address, or chat feature, and not using the information in the email or text. You can also report scam messages to your state's Consumer Protection Office or the Federal Trade Commission. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
All right, so as it turns out, staying skeptical could help your wallet stay safe this holiday season.